Why can't you speak English? And you can understand, read and write well, but when it comes to speaking, you are totally blank. Words don't come into your mind, and words seem to be flying away from your mind. Why it happens? It is so frustrating, it's so disappointing for the English learner who has spent a lot of time on reading, writing and listening. These are three skills which he has acquired by the time, over the period of time. But why it happens that when he comes to speak, words don't come into his mind? This is the question of today. Before diving into the video and before answering this question, why this happened, why can't you speak English fluently, rather you can understand, read and write well, and what is the solution of this problem, we should dive into the video. We should relate why this happened, why this phenomena happen with you. The answer is that you can't speak English and you can read and write well, because according to me, reading, writing and understanding are slow skills. Slow skills. Why I call them slow skills? Because while reading, you can take time to understand, and if you can't understand a word, you can look up into the dictionary, you can look up into the Google and you can search the meaning of that word. You have enough time for that. And if you are watching my video and some point or the word you can't understand, you can have a general idea of what I am talking to you. Either you can read from the transcript or from the captions. These are some of the advantages while you are reading, while you are listening, while you are writing. You have time to think. And when you are writing something, you have time to think, to ponder upon that idea, and you can also take the help of Google. You can also take the help of dictionary in order to have better collection of vocabulary while writing. But when it comes to speak, which is fast skill, because reading, writing and listening are slow skills and speaking is fast skill. When you come to speak, when you have to speak, it is the basic phenomena of speaking that you have to speak automatically and naturally. Because fluency means, what is meant by fluency? Fluency means to speak automatically and naturally, without interruptions and without confusion and without difficulty. This is called fluency. When you have no difficulty with the words, when you have no difficulty with the words to express your ideas, when you can express your ideas freely and without any difficulty, this is called fluency. And speaking should always be automatically and naturally. You should not struggle with the words, with the ideas, with the thoughts. And if you are not struggling with that, you are fluent in English. It doesn't mean that you are using very literary words or you are using very difficult words, then you are fluent in English. No. Fluency means to express yourself, to express your ideas with the simple words. But you should be automatic. You should be natural in your expression. This is called fluency. And speaking is always a fast skill. It needs abrupt answer. It needs immediate response from your side. And when you can produce immediate answer from your side, this is called speaking. But what is the problem? Why you can't speak English, but you can read and write and understand English very well? The problem lies with the training. The problem lies with our school and public education sectors, where we are trained to read and write and listen, but we are not trained to speak. We are trained to memorize the vocabulary, we are trained to gather the words, we are trained to gather the sentences, but we are not trained how to utilize them. And we can change this habit by changing our way to speak. How to speak? We should have to materialize, we should have to use all our skills, slow skills, reading, writing and listening, to the speaking. Because we are taught the theory in our schools, but we are not taught the practical of speaking. We are taught how to pass the test. We are taught how to pass the examination. We learn grammar, we learn words, we learn expressions, we learn sentences, we learn each and everything for the sake of passing the examination, to pass the exam. There is nothing else. We are trained for this outcome. We are not trained to speak English. This is the basic difference in our perspective, in our outlook. We memorize questions, we memorize summaries, we memorize multiple choice questions, each and everything we memorize. But we don't focus on the practical. We don't focus on the speaking. So, dear audience, keep this thing in your mind that this is not your fault. The fault lies not with you. Because it's not your fault that you are not fluent in English. You are not speaking English fluently. The fault lies with our educational system, which is based on the cramming of rules of reading, writing and listening. And now comes towards how can we solve this problem. First of all, the problem lies with the education system. And now remember that you have lot of information in your mind. A bunch of information is provided to you in your educational systems, and now you have to change the way how to speak English. First of all, very simple phenomena, very simple solution which I am going to give you is that you have to memorize, you have to learn common words and phrases of daily use in conversation. Because you might have observed that people use very limited vocabulary in the expression of their thoughts and ideas. Because words don't matter. Words, you can use difficult words, you can use simple words. Words don't matter. It is the expression, it is the natural outcome of your word that matters a lot. Your fluency matters a lot. Your speaking skills matter a lot. For this, you have to memorize speaking skills. You have to memorize the words and phrases of common expression, of common use, and then build on that. By using this, by memorizing this, you will see a tremendous change in your speaking skills. Because speaking doesn't come from this method, from this traditional method, from these slow skills. Speaking can only be mastered by using this formula of memorizing simple words and phrases of common use, of daily use, of conversation. Because for each and every department there is specific and limited vocabulary. First of all, you have to this, and then you have to practice, because practice makes a man perfect. And you have to practice a lot, and you have to keep this thing in your mind that there is a lot of information in my mind, and now I have to train my mind to speak it through my mouth. You have to train your mind and mouth to produce the words. You have to produce courage. You have to produce willingness in yourself to speak English. You have to produce in yourself willingness to make mistakes. And you should have to feel that you should not be shy in making mistakes. You should be proud of what you are achieving. You are working on a foreign language, and be proud of yourself, what you are achieving. Don't be obsessed with the mistakes. Don't be obsessed with the pronunciation. It doesn't matter at all, because we are not native. We are non-native English speakers. And if I am receiving the comments like, yeah, your pronunciation is a little bit weak, but how can? If you are understanding what I am expressing, my ideas, my knowledge is transferred to you, and I am helping a lot of learners, then pronunciation doesn't matter at all, according to me. Because there is a limited section of people who criticize, and I don't take them seriously, and you should not take them seriously. If you really want to speak English fluently, let me know in the comment section, is this video helpful for you, and what kind of methodology you are following to speak English fluently. If you are shy, give up your shyness and be courageous. Be courageous. Be willing to speak English, and be having a willingness to make mistakes. At the end of the time, you will be victorious. When you will be victorious, no one will remind you of your mistakes. Stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.